director of the Virginia Coalition to End Homelessness, and I want to welcome everybody here today. You can't hear me? It's not working? No. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So, my name is Phyllis Chamberlain. I'm the executive director of the Virginia Coalition to End Homelessness, and I want to welcome everyone here today. This Housing Advocacy Day has been a really wonderful partnership between a number of groups. I want to actually start by thanking Ali, who's the mastermind for this day and has done a ton of work. So thanks to Ali for pulling all this together. So we have a great group of people. I know we're going to accomplish a lot today. On the homeless issue, we've been working very hard in partnership with our other wonderful partners on the Virginia Housing Trust Fund. In addition to the trust fund, the governor included money in the budget for homelessness. How often does that happen? Not very often at all. And Robin Gann, who's with the Virginia Coalition, would have been here today, but she's busy talking to legislators getting co-patrons for budget amendments. So we're excited that we're making progress on that. There is also a lot of progress being made on the trust fund. And one reason that there's progress being made on these policy issues is because of the work that many folks have done prior to today. And I just want to take a second to thank one person in particular, Susan Siegfried, who raised your hand. Susan really has been doing a tremendous amount of work with Ali and with Robin to talk to legislators before today. And that's really what we need, is more people like Susan who are making time to do this. So one follow-up item already, we haven't even done meetings yet, but I have a follow-up item, which is that after today, you need to go back to wherever you work and live, and you need to talk to people that you work with and that you might socialize with about what you did today, and ask them to contact their legislators. I know we don't always think that that makes a difference, but it really does. And I've heard multiple stories where a legislator is all of a sudden interested in homelessness because he heard from his constituents. And when you ask how many people they actually heard from, it's only 2 or 3. So it doesn't always happen that easy, but I think that the point is that we really can do something to get more funding for affordable housing and homelessness in this state, but we have to work at it, and that's why I just really want to thank Susan. Did we already clap for Susan? Yeah. Okay. We should clap for her again. So thanks to everybody for being here. Let's clap for her again. So thanks to everybody for being here, and I'm going to pass it off to Kathy with the Virginia Housing Coalition.
Thanks, Phyllis. It is wonderful to see all of you around the tables this morning. The Housing Coalition has been about having one of these lobby days for a long time, advocacy days, and it makes a difference. You make a difference. I make a difference. Together, we really can influence what happens. The Housing Trust Fund is something that is near and dear to the Coalition's heart as nonprofits, many of whom develop affordable housing. The funds that are there are just essential to the work and could make our work even fuller, and we could serve more people. And so I encourage you to be about this work with a smile on your face and positive spirit in your being, because we can make a difference. Welcome, enjoy your day. It'll be a different day and a fun day, as well as a challenging one.
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Ali Farouk, and I work for Housing Opportunities Made Equal. I work on housing policy and research. And what I'm going to do is go over the materials that are in front of you. So all of you, when you came in, got a green bag. This is yours to keep. It's very environmentally friendly. I encourage you to use it. It's got the logos of all your favorite housing organizations on the front. Inside the bag, you have a folder, and you picked up a bunch of materials. So first, today is the second day of the General Assembly session. That means yesterday was the first day, and that means the legislators are not as busy as they normally would be. they're still definitely busy. There's a lot that goes on at the General Assembly. We have a part-time legislature. So literally, these folks, your elected officials, are here today. They're in meetings from 7:30 in the morning until 5 or 6 or 8 p.m. at night. But since we're earlier in the session, there are some advantages. We hope to have a lot more face time with our elected officials. So thank you so much for coming. But that also means that because today is the second day, there are a lot of changes. So when we drafted all these materials to help you be an effective advocate today, a lot of things have changed since we drafted them. That's just the pace that the legislature works at. So when you came in, you picked up some materials. So first, I'm going to go over what's in your packet, and second, I'm going to go over what the changes are. So if you open up your folder, dig around inside your folder, and you'll see a green sticker. The green sticker says, "Housing equals opportunity." So I encourage all of you, unless you're wearing a really expensive jacket, I encourage all of you to go ahead and peel it off and put it on your jacket. I don't think it's working. Oh.
Hello. Oh, okay, awesome. So I encourage all of you to take it out and put it on the front of your jacket. So when people see you walking around the General Assembly, when legislators see you walking around, they'll know that you're here and that you care about housing and that housing is important. It actually makes a visual difference. It really does. So second, you'll see a bunch of sheets of paper like this that say visiting your legislator, writing your legislator. If this is your first time or second time at Housing Day, I recommend you just review these. They'll give you some really good tips. You'll have a red book. This has information on all your elected officials, where their office is, things like that. Some information about them, such as what they do for a living, things like that. If you do not know who your elected official is, who your state senator, who your delegate is, you can visit the front desk where Amy is, and she has a list of all of you who pre-registered, and if you gave us the correct address for where you live, we have what district that address represents. A lot of you put P.O. boxes, and we can't do anything for you. P.O. boxes don't work when you put them in the system. So if you don't know who your elected official is, go to the front and Amy can help you find out. If not, if you didn't register, pre-register, you can kind of look through here and sort of figure it out. They have maps in the back that show where the districts are. All right, we of course have an agenda for the program for the day, and then we have all these cards. They have pictures on the front and writing on the back. These are what we call leave behinds. These are designed to help you. They have talking points for what to say about each bill. And they also have a space for you to write your name, your address, and your comments. And this is really important. It is very important for you to write your name and address and your comments, because that's how the legislators know that you're a constituent and that you care about this issue. So we have a bunch of leave behinds. We have 2 copies of each, one for your delegate and one for your state senator. And so now you're wondering, well, what are all these cards? What are all these issues? Some of you are from affordable housing organizations. Some of you are from homelessness advocacy organizations. In the sheet, we have a Housing Day common agenda, and that lists out the 6 common issue areas that the various housing organizations are working on together. There's no grand edict that says you have to advocate for every single one, but to some extent, it affects all of us and all of our constituents. Any questions so far about the materials? Yes.
Can I just do my...
Yeah, I'm going to go over the changes in just a minute.
Okay.
So Phyllis and I are going to talk about some changes, but before we go over that, any questions about the materials? If you need a pen or don't have a pen, we have pens up front. I recommend you go ahead and if you know what bills you really care about or are most close to your heart, go ahead and write your name, address, and comments right now. What we're going to do later on is break out into groups and do some more issue-specific training. We're going to break out into 3 groups. But before we do that, I'm now going to go over some changes. So the first change is about foreclosures, and the second change is about homelessness advocacy. So you'll see this blue card that has a dad holding his son frowning over some bills. And it says, support common sense foreclosure reform. Well, the General Assembly moves a lot faster than our printer, so the details of this issue have changed. And so what you can do is take this out and you can actually put it aside. There's actually a little white bag here. That's our recycle bag. So you can take all these and put them in the recycle bag. We have a new